Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Getting on Camera with Josh from Shawami. My name is Matt Kuchar, and I'm the owner of Shawami. I will be the moderator for today's webinar, and I am joined by the one and only Josh Kuchar. He is Shawami's marketing guru. You've probably seen his orange suit everywhere. Has background in video editing, YouTube advertising, and a creative marketing consultant. Josh, welcome. So good to have you here.
Thanks. I'm excited to be teaching about video marketing years ago and been growing it ever since at Xiaomi. But I think what's interesting is today we're not talking about how Xiaomi uses it. We're talking about how real estate agents can be using it today in their marketing. And sort of the idea is that like, can we get through some of the easiest content to make that is quick in snippets? And then can we get into the content that you want to be creating for long form, more it just sits out there and stays out there sort of content that's going to keep bringing you business for a long time. So I'm excited to be jumping into it.
Welcome to our monthly webinar. Before we jump in, I wanted to say a quick thank you to everyone for joining us this afternoon. Do know that by joining us live, you're guaranteed to receive all the content we talk about. If you're watching this later, it's important to note that we will be condensing today's session down. With all that being said, let's jump into the topic, which is getting camera ready. So Josh, talk to me a little bit about the platforms. What are they? What do they do differently? How do we use them?
Okay, so Instagram Reels is big right now.
Okay.
Instagram Reels has this track record and being able to use Instagram Reels that actually go through not just Instagram, but also Facebook. So it's a vertical based platform. It's recording with your phone going up and down, which is a little bit different than the traditional, which we had YouTube and we had actual camera for so long. And then we've got now TikTok, Instagram Reels, and even YouTube Shorts. But again, the biggest one right now that people are focusing on, and I would highly recommend, is Instagram Reels. And when you're doing your Instagram Reels, now everybody's got their own style. And I always want to encourage you to continue with your style. Some people don't mind getting on camera, and some really don't like being on camera. And that's okay. What's really been nice is that with Instagram Reels, you can go on Canva and just create slideshows, different types of slideshows with information that you would find your audience to really resonate with. And I think that going through that in these 30-second clips of time has a lot of value. I think it's actually undervalued when it comes to it because so many people really do just take videos of themselves doing different activities, but it's so much quicker to just do a slideshow of some sort, and they're pre-built on Canva to make things a lot easier.
Cool.
So a large amount of that.
So big suggestion, which I think most agents have, but if you don't have, get a Canva account right now. Josh, do you pay for Canva? Do you do the free version? Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. So I do pay for Canva, and I would recommend the paid version of Canva. You do get a lot of different features thrown in there. You also can get stock images and stock video. And I think that that's kind of fun to throw into your video editing and your video production process. These sort of videos that you're creating in Canva really do have that pull. And I do want to say that there's a couple of other things when you do go to post videos. Make sure you're using hashtags. Now, the rule of thumb is use between 5 and 8 hashtags per video. You don't want to overload it, but you also don't want to go back and not have enough. You want to be able to have everything that somebody would search for in a social platform. This is to be treated completely different than your YouTube optimization and your organic keyword research, right? In Facebook, people don't search the same way. And the same thing is in Instagram. Sometimes they're just looking for somebody to influence, or they're looking for a topic of video that they're more interested in. And so being able to go from, okay, how do I go about getting pre-approved for a loan? That's something that's going to be searched in your typical Google, that sort of thing. But having, loan option types and being somebody who speaks about the different types of loans, that has a little bit more pull on the Instagram when you have that sort of authority about the topic.
So let's talk about Instagram. What would be a good like time frame, or how long do you want your Instagram reel to be, or and then like how do you get people to look at it, right? Like, I mean, what are some tips and tricks on that stuff?
Oh, absolutely. So everybody's starting to get this clickbaity wording out there on it, right? So you're creating a slide, or, having text on the actual video itself that's like it's eye grabbing, it's attention, it's actually really obnoxious, right? It's
I don't like
why,
it personally. I
like
don't like it
asking
when
a
I see
question
that.
that just triggers somebody, like why an FHA loan is the thing you need to be going for today, or going against the grain and going on the negative side. A lot of people will start talking about today's market and who is the one investing in the houses. And, when you go against the grain and say, oh, so and so is not investing, here's why, I'll send people. And then that's just the headline, that's the text on the video. So no matter what freeze frame that the video captures, that's always there right at the top. So people are like, okay, that's going to be clicked on. That's the sort of content, that's the sort of things, tricks and tips that we're seeing a lot more in that sort of space. Now, if you're looking for specific video types, I'd say, here's what millionaires are investing in a house or are not investing in a house, like these features in particular. So is yellow back, and you have this like whole, you're walking through a yellow house video, and you just post that question, and people are just gonna be like, okay, I've got to see what this yellow house actually looks like. And all of a sudden they're just on your page and they're taking a look at your content, even if it's for a quick blurb.
So just let's say I create a 30-second video on what's going on in the market this weekend, right? Or hey, the open houses in my neighborhood or whatever, that will show up there. How do I get it noticed? Is there any tips or tricks for, I mean, do you just follow a lot of people, and the more people that you follow you, or how does that work? And help me to understand.
Yeah, so with the followers, the way that followers work is, yes, there are a certain number of people that will just follow you back automatically,
Okay.
but they're not always going to be engaged with your content. That's the thing that you have to understand, is you still have to build a fan base off of your followers. So how do you get more followers? You start creating more content that you find interesting. Now, to go to what you're talking about, like open houses, right? I've got 10 open houses, or if you've got 10 open houses in one weekend,
Yeah.
I'm sorry already. But here's what we're starting to see with open houses is people really are taking the time to go head to the property a couple days before and do a quick little video of the outside, kind of make it look like you're doing a quick walkthrough, but you really have to make it still suspenseful. You can't give away every detail of the house right away. When you do that, then what prevents them from, or why would they go? The whole reason that they're going is to see the features that you're not showing. So you're showing the top two, and you're like, and then you can have this like question mark, like this really blurred out image question mark for the last, oh, and you're not going to want to miss this. Have to come to the open house this weekend.
Absolutely. I've been listening to this book called Pitch Anything, right? And it's all about pitches. And the one thing they talk about is creating suspense and leaving people a hook, like something that, like, I want more. If you give them everything all at once, why would they come to your open house, or why would they engage with you? You got to keep leading them on. Marketers are really good at this. I love that. Okay, so anything else about Instagram Reels before we move on to YouTube?
Oh, one last thing is, always think about some of the things that you can pull from those video clips. So you always should save your Instagram Reels as a whole. Think about, if you did 3 things for that open house, and the third one is obviously the big question mark, right? So it could be, oh, this pool's got a special feature, and you blur out the image of the pool, and it's something cool when people actually come to see it. But your 1 and 2 point, save those as smaller cut videos and use them as your story. that
Okay.
hooks people again. So you're keeping different content for different things and you can repost it at different times. Now, keep in mind that stories only last about 24 hours. They're not going to stay on for very long. The reels can actually have a much longer shelf life. Typically they kind of fade after day 3 or 4. But there's definitely, take those little snippets and throw them into your story and make the story even more engaging.
Got it. Got it. And do you like, let's say you have a concept for 4 or 5 different reels. Do you do them all at once and then just kind of save them and post them at different times? Or do you just like, hey, I'm feeling this, let me go with it now? Like, or do you do both? What do you find works best for you?
Oh, you absolutely want to try your best to record all at once. There's no doubt. If
Okay.
you can. And that's part of, I know a part of a lot of coaches will talk about that take the 2 to 3 videos that you're going to create for the whole week.
Okay.
Whatever you're looking to do, time block it out. Take that hour to 2 hours and just go with whatever comes to mind first. Just keep going, just keep going. And so that by the end of the week, you've got all this content. And then keep in mind that not everybody has seen every post you ever make. So it's
Right.
okay to go back and post the same thing again 2-3 weeks later. Oh, evergreen content. That's kind of the simple stuff. That's like why you should hire me as your agent. Here are a little bit about me, those sort of videos.
Very cool. All right. Well, let's move on to YouTube. I know they all everything. I mean, with video, with marketing, it's a plan for everything, right? You're trying to do so much, right? You're trying to, and as an agent, we're juggling a lot of things. A lot of the stuff can be used on multiple. So tell me about YouTube. What's different about YouTube and why should we be on it?
So YouTube and YouTube stories is 2 separate things. So we'll stick with the content that's sort of working here vertically. So we'll start with stories, and stories operate in almost identical capacity to what your Instagram Reels sort of videos look like. However, this is where it's key to know what people are searching for. The keywords. This is where people are looking for more information than just a quick snippet video, even though stories is that way. But your stories needs to lead into long form content. And that's where it goes to your bigger YouTube video. So if you're going to do a 5-minute video on something, awesome. Take a chunks of that and then turn it into a story. Into your YouTube story. I should specify, not your Instagram story, your YouTube story, so that it's like a hook for your channel. And that's kind of how you want to treat those stories, is like a hook. It's how can I get the quickest form of content to my intended buyers at the most, like 30-second clip I can possibly get, which is very difficult. It's very tough to pull a 5-minute video on my top 10 favorite things to do in my city, right?
Okay.
Those kind of videos are awesome and they're going to help you rank organically for your long form content, but you got to snip that down to the top 3 and then say, hey, for the final I have 2 more, follow my YouTube to check them out.
Got it. Got it. All right. So let's say, and this is me, right? I'm self-conscious. I don't necessarily like how I look on camera. I hate my voice. So, and I don't think I have anything interesting to say. How do I overcome the fear of like even doing video? Like, how do I get into the habit, or how do I overcome this?
Sure. So first, let's start with videos that don't include you in them.
Oh,
That's
okay.
okay. Let's start there because I think a lot of people, it's easier to say those. And when I'm talking about those videos, I think I kind of alluded to what you should be making videos of. Hey, here are things to do I'm in Fort Myers, so I'm going to use Fort Myers, everybody, as my example. So here are the top 5 things to do in Fort Myers this weekend. Here are my 5 favorite things. Boom. You're just doing a slideshow. You're taking pictures, using pictures of these businesses. Great. Or an event that's coming up, you can pull their Facebook thing and help promote them. Awesome. But that sort of stuff doesn't last a long time. So you're going to have to do longer form content that says, hey, here are the top 10 best restaurants in Fort Myers. Here's a video slideshow of all of them. Great. Okay, now I'm over that fear. Now I have to get on camera and do something, right? Well, how can I get there and do it? Now I've got my top 10 favorite things that I'm really excited about these restaurants. Okay, now I'm going to do a video of me taking 5 seconds to talk about each one. And then I'm going to go to a slideshow of it. So I'm not on camera long enough for me to feel like, oh, I gotta watch myself for 5 minutes straight. It's a mix. And then when you get more comfortable with that, I think that you're gonna get more into the short form stuff. That's when, it's where when you go on a home showing and you grab your phone right before the home showing and you're out saying, hey, I'm in Fort Myers today, out showing homes, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Hey, make sure you book me for an appointment sometime this week. Some 15-second videos, and then the 15-second videos become second nature, which turn to 30-second, which turn into 2 minute.
Yep. Love it.
And I think the most important thing is to remember, not everybody sees every video.
Right.
You're
not like likes on Facebook, right? If you don't get a bunch of
10%,
likes,
so it's okay to see that sort of thing and to understand that, hey, I really hope that these go far. And if you want them to go far, it's consistency. If you're consistently posting, all the algorithms love consistency. They also love unique content. So make sure that what you're posting is not the same thing that your competitor is posting and then market. So you want to think outside the box about a different ideas, different topics, that it's not the same as everybody else. You got to mix some new stuff in there.
I love that. I think agents can do this with neighborhoods, right? So I'm an agent, I'm a broker in 2 different states. And let's say there's community called Copper Oaks, right? There's like 10 different agents who've done, videos on Copper Oaks. But you could be, I'm like thinking right now, I could do something different. The 3 things you don't know about Copper Oaks that no one else is going to tell you, right? Like, hey, it's right up against I-75 and it's got road noise, might not be what you want, but at least the people are going to go, oh my gosh, this guy's being really honest with me. He's not like, telling me about the pool and everything like that. Oh, this one's up against the swamp and the alligators come out in March and April. Just got to be aware, don't walk your dog. I don't know, stuff like that. I think people find interesting, and they're going to come back with that because it's not just the same old, the average home in here is $400 a square foot, and they have 3 cars and they were built in this year. And like, you got to tell a story, you got to make it interesting.
Yeah, it's funny that you bring up the year as well. It's like you could bring up facts about that year that's kind of unique. You don't have to just say the year that the whole community was built, because like you said, that's the dry content. That's the same thing everybody else is posting. So giving like a quick fun fact every so often about something can really go a long way.
So again, on YouTube, I think one of the things that I learned early on was SEO is really, really important. And you can probably do better with SEO in YouTube than any of the other platforms. Tell me a little bit about that. I guess that would be in the title and the body. Is there anything else that we can do with that, with YouTube videos and SEO?
Oh, this is huge. I mean, video SEO it's the next big thing right now. It's the big battle in marketing. And so everybody, just to preface that, we all have heard of ChatGPT and these different AI content development going on. So what a lot of marketers have been doing is saying, okay, SEO from a website standpoint might be on a little bit of a downslope, because now you can search for the answer on ChatGPT for quick answer things. But then it's still, okay, but I want to see it. There's this essence of visualization that comes with video. So when you want to be optimizing your YouTube videos, yes, title is huge, right? Your description. One of the things that they've been pushing is don't have links in your description. Instead, use the first comment for any links. And the reason why is because, of course, YouTube doesn't want you to leave YouTube when you're on YouTube. But if you put it in the comment section, it's now a comment, so it's not part of the description, so they don't feel like you're making people leave. I thought that was a very unique fact about that. So putting it in the actual comments instead of the description can lead to higher,
How would you do
conversion
that?
rates.
Like, just go to Xiaomi's website to find out more about home showings? Or is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Or okay,
So what you'll see is a lot of people will say, "Hey, check out the link in the comments." There's a reason they say that. It's because they don't want to put the description of the video.
got it. Because they don't want it to hurt their SEO. So they point people to the comments. Somebody makes a comment, the link is there. Got it.
Yes.
Tricky. Ah,
That's the sort of workaround that they're using. It's this, they're actually using the same kind of workaround for Facebook, Instagram, these sort of things. If you're, because your post, anytime you try to make somebody leave, it's why you don't use YouTube links on Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Like, you're not supposed to use YouTube links, you're supposed to use live videos or any kind of uploaded video content, because they want you to stay on the platform. Now, with video and with SEO, I think we've got gadgets coming up later. So I'll talk a little bit more about optimizing later, because I do have a really cool tool that honestly you're going to want to know. If you're really considering YouTube as a big proponent for what's going to grow your, business next year, you're going to want to know this tool. This
okay.
is major. It not only takes a look at the content you've currently posted to help you rank it, but can even generate headlines and different things for you. Love it.
Love it. Okay, so I've created a video. Do I need an intro and an exit? What about my thumbnail? Talk to me about some of those things, because I don't know. What's your opinion? What do you think?
Thumbnails got to be attractive. They've got to be clickbaity. They got to get attractive, and the more annoying, the better.
Okay,
I
so
think
Canva, you go to Canva,
it's
account.
funny, you have to learn from major, YouTubers like Mr. Beast. And you can take a look at his, he's always got some shocked face and some big bright colored background and then something in the front. And everybody's doing the same thing now. And informational looking, content is not doing as well as these insane headlines and running these different mentality. It's so strange in comparison, because you just have to be attractive. Like, it has to be attractive to somebody to look at. And so your thumbnails is definitely a must for optimizing. And again, we use Canva for that sort of thing. They have some great templates. Definitely don't just use their templates as is, make some adjustments, because some people do make the mistake of doing that. And what's going to happen is Google, and sorry, I should say YouTube, but YouTube's owned by Google. What they're going to be doing is sitting there going, okay, this thumbnail looks almost the same as this thumbnail. There's barely anything different. So if you're not changing even just the sizing of the different back elements or anything like that, you're going to run into that. Google's going to sit there and take a look at your thumbnail and say, yours isn't different enough from this person, so we're going to down rank you, and you're not really getting the clicks or anything like that. And then you're also looking the same as everybody else. So really got to think through, okay, yes, used Canvas templates, but how can I adjust this template to fit me a little bit better, or to fit, a more strange looking. Hey, I mean, I've heard it 100 times being in marketing. Ugly sells. Ugly sells.
Orange
It
suit.
really does. Like, yeah. Yeah.
Ugly orange
The
suits.
worst, like sometimes the worst looking thumbnails, I'm always like, oh, that would never work as an ad, and it never represents a person. But to be honest with you, it's perfect for YouTube because it gets somebody's attention. Ugly can sell.
Yep. Well, and I think of branding. So maybe the intro, getting an intro to them, you could use the same intro, do different intros. What do you think? And like, as far as branding for an agent, I mean, obviously we go with our logos and usually a picture of us, because, of 20 years ago when we were younger. But, what do you think? Do we need an intro? And then what's a strong exit, like a call to action or something that they need to do? What do you think?
You should always have a welcoming hook.
Okay.
That's how I would put it. A welcoming hook and an outro hook. So you don't need a slideshow image of your logo that opens up the video. In fact, when I was doing studies for senior living. We did marketing for a senior living company, and the videos, there was a huge drop off rate if you had an intro to your video of a slideshow of any type. So they said that it did about 36% worse. So people were not going to stay on. 36% of people were going to drop off your video much quicker. So to think about that, what you want to be doing is being very thoughtful. This has to fit your personality. And you have to sit there and go, hey, Josh here. Just a reminder, I sell houses. All right, let's dig into the content. You know, whatever it is that is your personality. If you're more of an introvert, then you might want to consider saying, you know, hey, it's me. You know, I'm back.
The shy realtor.
The shy realtor. You know, always go with what you're most comfortable with, but having and you really have to be diligent about this, it's got to be less than 10 seconds.
Okay. And do you want to tell them what they're going to get out of it, or and try to, hey, stay to the end for a special or promotion, or because that's one of the things I also noticed about YouTube. If people get on, let's say you've got a 2-minute video and everybody clicks off at the 30-second mark, YouTube doesn't like that, right? They want to see people go to the very end.
Yeah, so definitely needs some sort of hook, but that can be very difficult, right? It all depends on the type of content that you're posting and what you're talking about. So if you are talking about loan types, you know, saying, hey, I've got one that's got an even lower interest rate, you cannot miss this. And then you jump into your first part of the video. So yes, having that sort of cliffhanger intro, highly advised. Absolutely advise cliffhangers as the very start. It works way, way better than you would think. You know, I think there's that, and then your outro, right? You should have a call to action of some sort and make it clear. I think what happens is sometimes it's an outro slide and it's got your phone number, your email, your corporate logo, your fax machine, your social media accounts. Stick to one or two things. So at the end of your video, if it's follow me at, you know, Shawami Co, great. Then that was your outro. At least that's for us. If it's give me a call, then put your phone number. Don't sit there and overload that ending page. And if you want to say it in the video, that's even better. Or having a voiceover for the very last portion where it does show that. Absolutely. Everybody, you know, the more that you speak, the better.
Okay. And so to go along with that long, yeah, I've seen people have like, you know, meet me in Las Vegas, realestate.com. You know, it's like this 50-character URL on their last, you know, like follow me here. Like they've got less than a second to look at that thing. You really think they're going to stop, pause, and write that down? Like, you got to make it easy. I like the phone number personally. I totally get the idea, a short URL or something like that, but don't overcomplicate it. And a reason, give them a call to action, something to do. Promotion. Let's talk about promoting your YouTube videos. Like, I mean, we do a lot. We do email, we do a lot of other stuff, but maybe you can talk a little bit about how do you get your beyond SEO, right? You got to put the keywords in the title and in your description, but how else can you promote your YouTube videos?
Oh man, yes, you kind of touched up on it. You should be putting them in email blasts. If you have a newsletter or anything that goes to, you know, different people in your database that just gives them an update, absolutely your YouTube videos should be there. There's a lot of value in having them there. You should also be posting them on your LinkedIn account. That also helps. Now, LinkedIn doesn't like that external push, right? It doesn't like the fact that somebody's leaving LinkedIn to go view it. And this is why I'm saying LinkedIn, not Facebook. Facebook definitely hurts big time. Don't do it on Facebook.
No.
LinkedIn is a lot less. They don't really kind of take that content and feel the pain nearly as much. So they're still going to show it, but it's going to have to be something very engaging for somebody to actually click and view. Now, if they do click and view it, understand that LinkedIn has a lot of power. There's this authority that comes with it. So it can help your video rank in YouTube by getting clicks on LinkedIn.
Got it. Okay.
That's why that sort of mentality. Now, if I were to think about, okay, where else can I possibly be broadcasting this stuff? Right? If your content is really rock solid, then think about taking those YouTube videos and sending them to either local publications, local news stations, and see if they can't start featuring you in different mentalities. Say, hey, look, I just wanted to send this to you. If you think that we can do a quick story, great. If not, great, just to meet you. Those sort of intros can also make a difference, because then you can get on the news for the next thing. Hey, here's my top 5 favorite. And you touched up on something in the local area that they're like, oh, we would love for you to talk about XYZ place, XYZ community. What happened here 2 weeks ago? What happened here last week? So those, pushing it out to that network is great as well.
Well, I think one of the things we also like to do is we like to get our partners to push our content, right? So as a real estate agent, I've got lenders, I've got inspectors, I've got, all these other people in my network, my sphere, my past clients. The more I can get them out and get them engaged in telling my story or sharing the story that I created and make it easy for them to do, the better off that I'm going to be, right? So, use your resources, your all of these people love you, they know you, they trust you. The more that they can promote your story, I mean, that's one of the things that really works well with us on Shawami is agents telling other agents about, hey, this platform. The more you do that within your business, and then you go, your mortgage partner, you go, hey, by the way, if you push me to all your people, I'll put you to all my people. And, you create this synergy where everybody's promoting one another. It's interesting, it's fun, it's lively. I think, thinking outside of the box, and I love the idea of going to media. Media always works. So
there's that. And there was one other thing that some do and some don't have access to this. So I understand it may not be a one size fits all mentality, but if you have any control on your website and you're able to add videos to your website, do it. If you hire somebody to run your website, then, and I can put this in the chat what it's called, but they need to be putting this thing called schema on every video you make and everything that you do when it comes to your website. And all that's going to do is make it so that in Google rankings, your video can be something that shows as a snippet. And that right there has huge weight. Not only does it help your website rank, it helps your video rank, because now there's there's 2 ways that they're getting to the video. They're going through YouTube, they're also going through search, and I guess 3, and to your website. So there's this sort of mentality that all are working. And
talk about TikTok, you young person.
Well, if TikTok sticks around.
Yeah, right. If we could still see it in the United States.
Right. So my advice is, at least for right now, just kind of use the same content you would use for your reels, but use the same thing on TikTok. There's this mentality that people feel like you have to create something new for TikTok. Truth is, it's the same style of recording, so it doesn't have to change all that much. Now, you could A/B test things, so you could see what kind of headlines and text work best for both, and go with the mentality that says, okay, my followers on TikTok, they like it when I make something funny, versus if I make something serious on Instagram, it has a higher rate of reach. So you really want to be able to monitor both at the best that you can, but really your optimization goes identical. And with both Instagram Reels and TikTok, try your best to throw some music in there and to stick with any of the trends. Those type of things do still have a lot of weight in their ranking system.
Very cool. Awesome. All right. So tech gadgets, move on to some tech gadgets. What do you find the most useful?
Oh man. So A, you should have a ring light.
Okay.
B, always have a stabilizer. There are too many videos of properties that I see go very shaky. You could get any kind of stabilizer for probably 50, 60 bucks on Amazon, a decent stabilizer that basically you can carry throughout the property and record any sort of video like that. That's going to go a long way. It's going to keep everything all set, clean, nice. They also work perfect for when you're creating videos about you. You can move around and most of them will follow you where you go. So you want to make sure you buy one that also has the recognition system that says, hey, this is a person. They're walking around a little bit and talking, so that you can go out in the park, throw it down, and it looks like somebody's recording you. And it makes that, the perception of your audience is, wow, they have somebody recording them
Right. I
in
saw
a
that.
park.
Like, I had that at NAR when we were at the NAR Next, the convention. It was like this guy would just walk around and set it down, and he'd start talking to people, and he'd move, and the camera would move and follow him, and he'd get a perfect shot. It's
Yeah,
not
you
really
don't. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be a robot. I have one that's strictly a tripod. It's very small, but it can work. It's versatile in what it goes on top of and what it goes in with. So it's able to be used across. Now, if
lighting.
I would say next is going to be software-based stuff. All right.
Okay.
One of my is video.ai. What this will do is take the video clips that you make, long form. You can make 30, 40-minute clips, and it will take what it believes as AI is your number one points. So it will take, if you said, oh, you have to eat the spaghetti and meatballs at this Italian restaurant, it's going to take that like section that it feels that you're the most passionate about and turn it into an instant reel like ad. It's super cool. So it'll take this big form video and it'll be like, it'll take that little snippet about you talking about that, put some text under it, so it will even transcribe you, clean the video so that you're not saying ums, ahs, or have space, and you can sit there and use that as a teaser for the full video. I love that tool. It does a great job of pulling out and making sure that that's all cleaned up for quick posts. That's, again, great for doing little teasers on long form video. The next tool that I like using, or that I kind of alluded to earlier, is the weapon among all weapons. If YouTube really is your strategy, if this is like, you're like, I'm 100% on YouTube, I will optimize my YouTube, I want to be the best in my area at YouTube, this is your best friend. This right here is vidIQ. What this is, they will give you ideas for content based off of what you've already done. So if you have 30 videos, so I actually have got it open on my side, and it's given me 3 ideas. It's like invest in real estate anonymously, as a great video headline. It says the 2 best ones right now would be how to deal with people in foreclosures. It's giving me idea content, your friend and your realtor. You are lucky if you have both, ... And it's saying like this has like a high prediction to be a huge hit. And then it gives you keywords that you can sit there and focus on. So whatever keywords you're trying to rank for, you can sit there and plug them into this app. You'll see what the competition looks like, what the search volume on YouTube looks like. This is strictly on YouTube. And what's even more fun, as we've talked about AI, it can generate titles.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, because I spend hours like thinking and overthinking and quadruple thinking all the titles, all the content, the descriptions, and these tools can help you with that. Even like you're starting to use more of the Jasper AI and stuff like that. We're all using it. It's just part of business now. You've got to, anyway. So,
well, and when you've got a tool like this, which is sitting there analyzing everybody's content, it will sit there and tell you like, hey, stick with this kind of content. Seems to be working. Here's how to get this to rank for this. This is the next video. This tool it's not cheap. It's not inexpensive, because it's powerful. If you really want to make YouTube your number one strategy, this tool is by far one of the most helpful when it comes to analyzing past content, developing new content, and developing ideas for your next content.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, so we are getting close to wrapping up. Wanted to maybe, are we ready to go into Q&A, see if anybody's got any questions, or what else do you have, Josh?
I will say this, you can still use YouTube ads.
Okay.
I think that that's something underutilized, is that you can still be advertising to people looking to buy homes in your area and showing them strictly YouTube ads. And I think that where people really get a little overwhelmed by is, okay, what's my audience look like? What kind of content should I be showing my ads on? I think those are key. So find a couple lenders, couple of local things to do, video, companies in your area that really have done a good job, and make sure that that's the ads that you want to have your ads show on. You want to be sitting there going, okay, I can select, in Google Ads, which is what you're using to use YouTube ads, you can go on and actually say, yes, this is the channel, this is the video that I want my ads showing on, because XYZ, right? I think it's a high potential for people who are moving here. If they're searching why you should move to Fort Myers, right, and there's a video that ranks number one and it's not you, why wouldn't you want to put your ad on that? They're obviously showing intent, right? They're saying, I want to move to that area. So you want to be the actual marketer. You want to be the agent that says, hey, thinking about moving to Fort Myers? I can help. Here's the last 5 homes that I sold, and here's how much I gave them value for. Give him your pitch, get that on there, and be that hard sell right there and then.
Yep. And I think also letting people know YouTube is a long-term play, right? It's not like I'm going to post 5 videos and get 5 leads. That's not how it works.
No, it definitely does not work like that. It definitely is a long play for sure, especially when it comes to trying to rank your videos.
Josh, I just wanted to say, again, thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom. You do a wonderful job, just really promoting us. And thank you, everybody who's been able to join us today. We will definitely send this out in an email. All of the show notes, any links that we shared will also be in the YouTube. And of course, welcome to come to Shawami, sign up as a showing agent or get home shown. If you're an initiating agent, we'd love to have you. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.